Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Adkesson, and we're here at Brookfield Zoo's Animal Hospital, where today we're taking a look at a couple of prickly patients. Our first guy here that we're going to be working with is Eddie. Eddie's a prehensile-tailed porcupine. We're going to be doing an exam on him, and then we will also be working on an African crested porcupine named Pilgrim here in a little bit. One of the things about porcupines, like Eddie, is that these quills come out and they're barbed on the end, so they stick into whatever they come into contact with. So it's one of their defensive mechanisms. So porcupine quills are actually just modified hair. So you can see a really nice example here on Eddie's underside. The hair, they're still kind of prickly, but they're not nearly as sharp or spiny as the quills on the back. And then as we come up onto the back of the animal is where we get into the quills that they use for more of a defensive mechanism. How are you? You look good.
Yeah, you look good.
You look very healthy, buddy. We're moving on to our second patient for the morning. This is Pilgrim. Pilgrim is an African crested porcupine, so a different type of porcupine than Eddie. She's a terrestrial species of porcupine, so she spends her time on the ground as opposed to Eddie, who spends most of his time up in the trees. One of the big differences between these two kinds of porcupines, obviously, is the quills. We saw with Eddie that the quills were barbed on the end and fairly small, whereas with the African species of porcupine, the quills are very, very large. They're not barbed on the end. They don't come out quite as easily, but they're obviously a very formidable weapon for any type of predator that might try and come after these species. They've also got these hollow quills on their tail that sort of rattle and make a sound that's very distinctive and somewhat intimidating to some of the animals that may also try and mess with these guys in the wild. What we're doing today with Pilgrim is we're taking a look at her teeth. Pilgrim is kind of an interesting patient for us. Pilgrim actually has 3 teeth that have stopped growing. So porcupines are rodents, and their teeth are normally continuously growing throughout their entire lifetime. They wear down as the tooth grows, so that's what keeps them in normal wear and condition. In Pilgrim's case, with 3 of the teeth no longer growing, we've got 1 tooth that continues to grow normally, and it's got no lower teeth to wear against in a normal manner. So we have to have Pilgrim come here to the hospital, and we just very quickly and easily trim this tooth down every month or 2. So because these teeth are continuously growing, all rodents lack a pulp cavity inside of their tooth in the end part here where we're trimming. So because of that, they've got no sensation in the tooth, unlike a person. So actually, we're able to just take a very simple tool here, and we basically just are able to cut this tooth away. So this is not anything that Pilgrim feels or feels any discomfort from at all. And with that tooth trimmed down, she's now able to hold her food normally in her mouth and eat normally. We are all finished with Eddie and Pilgrim the porcupines. Both of these guys are in fantastic health. We were able to trim that tooth back for Pilgrim, so we've got no further concerns with her at this point. These are obviously somewhat challenging patients for us to work on due to their quills, but I'm happy to say everything went fantastic today. So that's a wrap up for Prickly Patient Thursday.